Hello. In this video, we'll be going over CP Notice 75. So this is a letter that you might get from the Internal Revenue Service if you claimed one of the following tax credits and they require additional supporting documentation. One, the Earned Income Credit. Two, the Additional Child Tax Credit. Or three, the Premium Tax Credit. So we'll go through this. We'll go through this notice, and then in our show notes, we'll include links to additional resources on each of these tax credits, so that you can better understand the type of documentation that might be required. So we have done videos and written articles on the forms and schedules where you would claim these tax credits. So let's go through this in order. This is an example from the IRS website. You can clearly tell that this is a redacted or a sanitized version based on the information that's in the upper right hand corner. So if you receive this letter, you would see the notice number. CP75 indicates that you've claimed one of those tax credits, but the IRS does not have what it determines to be sufficient documentation to allow those credits. So you'll see the notice date. So anytime you see a notice date, if you see something that says within 30 days, for example, complete this response form and send it to the IRS within 30 days, it's talking about within 30 days of this notice up in the upper right-hand corner. You would see your social security number. You would also see a phone number that you would contact the IRS. In this case, this phone number is the generic 800 829 1040 phone number. If this was assigned to a specific office, you might see a different phone number there, as well as some additional information about your notice. So in this case, what you're going to do is review the form, the notice, and it says, hey, send copies of information that support these audit items below, which we'll go over momentarily. You'll complete the form that's in the response, and then you can either fax it or mail it to the IRS along with your supporting documentation within 30 days. And then there would be a phone number, an 866 phone number, if for some reason you can't get documentation in time. So one of the things that the IRS tries to do when they send these notices is encourage taxpayers to communicate. So, for example, if you owe taxes and you can't pay everything at once, the IRS would rather you communicate what you can do so that they can help you develop a schedule of being able to get to where you need to be. So in this case, if you're away from your home for an extended period of time and you need more than 30 days, you probably would be able to get a reasonable extension by calling the IRS and communicating your situation so that you can formulate a plan. If you don't contact the IRS will always assume that you agree with their assessment, and then your actions are based on how you feel. So if you don't do anything, that means that you agree with the IRS's assessment that you don't need those tax credits and that you don't actually deserve them. So if you disagree with that, then you should call the IRS, discuss your situation. If you can't actually send the information and complete the response form within that 30-day period. So again, to the left-hand side of this form or this notice, you'll see the information. It could be the EIC, it could be the ACTC, it could be the PTC. We'll see that momentarily. And you do have 30 days, or else they will be disallowing your credit or credits, and you might owe taxes that you should have paid because you claimed the credit. So here we go with the audit items that require supporting documentation. So in this case, there is an audit item for both the EIC and the premium tax credit. So let's take a closer look at what has been included here. So in this case, there is a response form on the back. You would complete that. And then for the earned income credit, you would complete form 88-H-EIC, which is the documents you need to send to claim the earned income credit based on a qualifying child or children for the tax year. So you would submit that documentation to show that your child met the relationship, age, and residency test to qualify you for that earned income credit. Let me see if I can pull up a copy, because this is a form we have not done an article on yet at the time of this recording. So bear with me for a moment. We will pull this form up, and basically this is what it says. You would walk through this document, and then you would send in the documentation based on the criteria that's in this form. So now, on the premium tax credit side, and it says enclosed. So if you receive this notice, you should have an enclosed copy of that form. And then you would submit that documentation that was requested in the form to show that your child meets the relationship, age, and residency tests. For the premium tax credit, you would need to complete form 14950, which is the premium tax credit verification form. And again, you would have this included in your documentation. So this is not really a form to complete. It is more like a checklist of the information that you need to verify. So you would file IRS form 8962. You would include your appropriate copy of your form 1095 showing that you actually had some sort of health coverage that qualifies for the premium tax credit. And then you would also include information that's based on this checklist. So, if you receive the advanced premium tax credit, which some people do, then you would file IRS form 8962. That's the premium tax credit form, so that you can reconcile those advance payments that were paid in advance. And then if you're claiming the tax credit, then you shouldn't have to owe anything, but you do need to make sure that you complete that information, because at the time of this filing, when you receive this notice, that documentation is missing. The IRS thinks that documentation is missing. So here are additional audit items. If you had a filing status of head of household, for example, then you would review that enclosed form, the 886-H-HOH. Again, more supporting documents to prove your head of household filing status. And as the default, if the IRS does not hear from you, or if you don't mail or fax your supporting documentation as requested within 30 days of this notice, then the IRS will disallow your items. They will send you an audit report showing the proposed changes to your tax return. And if that results in a tax liability, then they'll send you a notice that you owe the IRS whatever that money is, plus possibly penalties and interest. So here's a step-by-step list of next steps. So you should review that information. After you submit everything, the IRS will take up to 30 days to review the information that you provide to them. If the information supports your tax return, then the IRS will send you a refund and a letter letting you know that your audit has been closed out. If the information doesn't fully support your return, then you'll see another audit report that shows the proposed changes, including any additional tax that you may owe. So again, you can always call the IRS. You can always have a discussion about, what tax paperwork is appropriate and what they will or will not accept. So if you do need additional information, there are links within that letter, usually, to either the Taxpayer Advocate Service or low income taxpayer clinics that may be available to certain taxpayers based on their income level. And then on the final page is that response form. Again, if your address has changed, you can call the IRS to notify them. You can file IRS Form 8822, which is the change of address form. And then you would complete your response form showing which of the boxes, hopefully all of them, that you've checked off with the enclosed documentation. So it would be in your best interest to address all of these issues with the same notice. That way, the IRS can evaluate everything in one sitting and then give you a determination. So you would send this either by fax or by mail within 30 days of this notice. If you're using your own envelope, then you would want to make sure that you mail the package to the address that's listed on the form, or you can fax it to the phone number that might be in that letter. So that's all there is for this notice. It's a relatively straightforward form, and we'll put links in the show notes to the resources that we've created for the earned income credit, the additional child tax credit, and the premium tax credit. If you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or comments, or if there's a topic you'd like to see in an upcoming video, please hit me up in the comment section. Thank you very much and have a great day.